new BARTEL that's coming on the new full length in, I don't know, I don't want to say anything, but 2011.
Is there a label for that?
It's going to be an Alpha Basic as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And I played some tracks by the Flashbulb, played some Pariah, played a lot of stuff I like, some Fulgence, really into that stuff, some Lorne, just a lot of, I don't know, bass-heavy, darker music.
Where do you stumble onto a lot of the music you're picking up now?
Good question. Mostly friends. Yeah, I would say like mostly.
Just word of mouth. There's not like a certain website or like, it's not like back in the day we'd all go to a record store.
Yeah, exactly. You know what it actually is? It's the ease of sharing nowadays. For example, we just have like a Dropbox folder, a bunch of friends and I, and just it's all like almost like a personal radio station. There's 10 of us that share this folder, and every day there's just new tracks in there for me to check out by who knows, you know, whoever, but it always leads to new discoveries and sales and stuff like that. So it's actually really probably 90% word of mouth.
How long have you been making tracks now?
As BARTEL, since first album was in May 2009, probably started about a year before that on the BARTEL project, and then altogether probably about 12, 13 years since I've been writing music.
Have you always been performing out in Vancouver? Is that where you're originally from?
I'm originally from Georgia, but Vancouver now is where I'm based. I'm a Canadian. I was born in Toronto, yeah, Vancouver I play out a bit in. West Coast, you know, up and down Portland, Seattle and stuff like that. I actually play quite a bit more in the States than in Canada, for sure. I think just because of the amount of people and the exposure to the music, you know, it's...
When you start doing these shows, obviously, do you have an agent working with you now who's getting you these shows?
Sometimes booking agents, sometimes people through Ben or Ben himself, or other artists. Other artists are usually the catalyst to get new shows. Usually.
Have you been doing? I know a lot of artists tend to share, like, hey, if you give me a gig in Portland, I can help you get a gig.
Absolutely, yeah,
okay.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not even usually that straight up as an agreement. It's just like, I love your stuff. Come on out and play a show, and it usually works the other way too.
How many releases now do you have under BARTEL now? I was just on the website here a little bit. What is, if you want to give out the website here?
alphabasic.com/BARTEL for my website, and I have one EP that's a CD, and then I have two limited CDR releases. One of them's part of a big painting, and when you buy it, you actually get the cases was actually part of a painting.
Oh wow!
So you get a part of the painting, and that was limited to 70. The next record is going to be 12-inch and CD, and it'll be a full-length record.
Oh wow!
So it's 3 EPs and now moving.
So obviously, do you plan on being out and doing a lot of touring, or?
Yeah, I mean, touring's good. It's usually like small tours, 3 or 4 dates, but being one person, I can, you know, just come down to Chicago and one show is even worth it, you know.
When you're usually out and about, you're touring, are you particularly focused on DJing, or are you doing more of a live set? Like, for instance, like this New Year's Eve.
It's kind of a mix of both. I mean, I play with a lot of prearranged sequences and clips, but I have the ability to kind of do whatever I want up there. And there's also a lot of singing and guitar looping when I play live as well, and a lot of sound manipulation.
Wow.
That just kind of happens at the moment, you know.
So when you're actually out doing shows, do you have quite a bit of the equipment that you're lugging with you, or is this something that's usually provided when you get there?
No, a bunch of stuff. You use like a Novation Launchpad in conjunction with Ableton to be specific, and then I also have like a bunch of outboard gear that I use, as well as assigned, you know, sequences and reactor patches, and then a guitar, and that's going into a pedal and vocal effects as well. So it's actually quite. I kind of am losing it most of the time, trying to figure out like what's next. You know? So.
Well, I know you said BARTEL has been the project you've been working on for the last few years here. Is there any other side projects you might have out, just different styles, or?
Something to look forward to very soon in the new year that I've been working on with a drummer out of Vancouver. We're called Sleep Letters. There hasn't been a show yet because we're just finishing up. We've got funding for the first 7-inch, so that'll be coming out hopefully probably in March, and then we're going to be hitting the ground pretty hard with shows, especially in the Northwest for now.
Okay. Do you? I know Vancouver. You're pretty much isolated as far as like touring through the rest of Canada.
True, yeah.
Calgary and Winnipeg and Edmonton are a long haul.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself ever jumping over to Toronto and going up through Montreal, doing shows like that, or do you mainly just try and stick to the coast?
Well, I got a lot of links in Toronto because I was there for 5 or 6 years. So I played Toronto a couple times, and I've never played Montreal or Winnipeg or Edmonton, actually, or Calgary. I've actually, like I said, I play a lot more in America than I do in Canada, for sure. But Toronto's got a great scene, too. I like that.
Well, we're looking forward to the show this Saturday, or excuse me, Friday night, tomorrow night, right?
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
I'm on at 10:50.
10:50.
Yeah.
All right. If you've got the your tickets already, I know it's already sold out. So again, I want to thank you for coming into the studio. It was a blast having you come down. I look forward to more Chicago shows.
Thanks so much for having me.
Let us know. We'll have you come by the studio anytime.
Sounds great. Thanks.
All right, man. Keep it locked. You are listening to Abstract Science, again, only on WLUW.
Thanks.
Oh, my pleasure. I try and ask a few more questions towards if somebody's out there and they're trying to do this shit for a living.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people getting started and have nowhere to go, so I'm always trying to ask as many questions like, how did you start? Where were you at?
Yeah.